Today we step back in time just a little bit, and we look at a Stunticon who's not really a Stunticon. At least not when he's poisoned by Dark Energon. I'm talking about the Transformers Prime Deluxe iteration of Dead End. He's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube at any time and become a channel member. And this is Transformers Prime Dead End, which is really weird because when I first saw it I said, that's okay, cool. Now I get it, a lot of people will say, yeah, but this is Transformers Prime, so it's a different Dead End, blah, 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 blah. I get it, I absolutely get it, 100%. However, apparently the way the lore is supposed to go for Transformers Prime is that, in essence, he was still a Stunticon, and this is what happened to him when he got exposed to Dark Energon. It kind of turned him into a grotesque monster, but I love the way the yellow and the green and the orange play off of the gray. I think it's real slick. I have looked at the Beast Hunters version of Wheeljack, but I've never handled or looked at the original version of this mold. And you know what? Doing so by way of Dead End seems like about as good of an idea as any. Big shout out to our buddy Razor Bear for sending this my way. Without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at this lad. And so we take a little trip back in time today with the Transformers Prime iteration of Dead End. And when I say Dead End, I mean kinda, sorta, Dead End. This is the Combiner Wars Dead End. I don't have, as of this recording, the Legacy Dead End. Granted, this is supposed to be G1-ish. I mean, I get it. Same with Legacy, it's G1 inspired. And this isn't, but apparently he is still, by rights, a Stunticon, though he didn't really appear in the show or the video games, though his character model apparently was in the video games as some sort of a scout. And it's sort of understood that, yeah, okay, so he was still a Stunticon, he was still the embodiment of Dead End kind of as we know it, but he kind of got intact with Dark Energon, and Dark Energon does some funky things, including apparently change your color to a whole bunch of, I don't know, like this looks like it should be marshmallows in a cereal box or something, you know, like other than the gray, but like the bright green and the yellow and the orange, that's sort of what it puts me in the vibe of. And to be fair, I don't hate this. I really don't. I didn't pick it up back in the day because I was like, dude's not on the show, I don't know, I'm just not tied to it, but like, big thanks to Razor Bear because this is also the regular kind of deluxe version of Wheeljack, right? It's a mold reuse. The only Wheeljack from Transformers Prime I ever had was the Beast Hunters version, which is this with some spikies on the arms, and there was like a couple of wing things sticking out of the back that were annoying. And I looked at that a long time ago in episode, get this, 249, and we saw the transformation then, in essence, for this mold, going from robot to vehicle. So now we're going to see it going from vehicle to robot, which is sort of fitting because I'm pretty sure that these deluxes were actually sold in vehicle mode anyway. So I think, even though I don't have instructions, I think this is the way that the guy came anyway. Now, this is the first time I've experienced the two Wheeljack swords. They're down underneath here and they store in nicely. They can also, and you can take these off, they can also, and there's a here, maybe you're seeing it. I keep happening on it and I'm not seeing it, but it's Starscream Wife's. They can also go like up under here. I'm going to get those on just so we can see the attack mode. Just so we're clear here, because I didn't do it on camera, we have a little rectangular tab right there. And on the handle of the sword, there's a little rectangular slot, and you just push it on over. I already have this one on, but when you put both of them on, it looks like this. And boy, oh boy, does this look gloriously foolish. He rolls tremendously well, by the way. But, like, this looks ridiculous, but okay, cool. I guess he has swords that come out. I wouldn't want him to, you know, if I was a vehicle, I wouldn't want this guy to ram into me. The vehicle mode, by the way, we all know that G1 Wheeljack is supposed to be like a Lancia Stratos. This apparently is a 2011 Lancia Stratos concept car. So it's still in that same vein as our G1 lad. I don't know if it was actually licensed. I'm maybe, or maybe it's modified, right, to be reminiscent of that concept. I'm not clear on that. We're going to take both of these swords here out and we'll lay them aside. By the way, the swords are really just cast in black. The green is paint, so cool. I mean, nice to have that paint there. We're going to do the transformation. I haven't done this in ages. We'll see if I actually remember how to do it. There's no guarantee. But this is what it looks like underneath. Again, like, I get that, like, you know, we have these, I guess, rib pieces. We know these are legs, but, like, it's not necessarily obvious, and I like that because, you know, whole robots in disguise. Where will we begin with this guy? Again, no instructions, and I'm just trying to do this off memory. Yeah, we pull those arms out. And then we should be able to, yes, lift all of this up. Let's do the legs down here first. So we split the legs, and we should be able to flip this piece around, and when we flip that piece around, and I guess we could do it over here too. Flip that piece around. The legs turn so that the knees are out, and I feel like these pieces here are supposed to do something, but again, it's been so long since I've done this, right? Ah, yes, they slide up. That's what it is. I was like, man, they definitely do something. They slide up, and then you open out the feet. Is that right? Yeah, and they move to the side. So they slide up. Right. Okay, let me show this again here. So we have kind of an L-shaped slider right here. These pieces slide up, and then they go to the side, right? The foot comes out, the other piece is now the back of the leg. There we go, that's the legs done. Yeah. It's just been a little while since I've done this. Okay, we're going to bring these two pieces up, and we're going to turn the arms around and bring them down. We have two little slots right there. And as we bring this chest down, and by the way, if you didn't see me do it, I did kind of collapse the chest. It was out like this. The head is right here. So I did collapse the chest up. This is going to come down. When it comes down, we have a couple of little tabs here and here that go into these two rectangular slots here and here. And hold it in place. His horrific head is there. These pieces back here, I believe they just kind of like split out like that. Yeah, this is coming along nicely. I just forgotten kind of how it went. It's up to you if you want to put the whole shoulder pad back. I think I usually do. And then we're going to take the arms here and fold it around. Bring out the wrist. Push that in. We're going to take this arm over here. We take it, we fold it around, we push it in, we bring out a wrist, and boom, in the end, here we have Transformers Prime Dead End in his robot mode. And look at that screaming face. I mean, it's horrific, right? I mean, Dark Energon, heck of a drug, man. And here we have the robot mode stood up and whatnot. So the transformation is kind of bonkers. It's definitely easier to do it on this mold than it is to do it on the Beast Hunters mold. I had forgotten a couple of things, like how this piece slides up and over. That was just my mistake. That was just me being rusty where I didn't have instructions and I haven't done this in a while. But the transformation honestly is great. It really is. The way the arms unfurl, the way the whole, I guess, chest collapses and the head comes up. Like, there's a lot about this transformation to like. I'm going to give it a solid 9.5. I'm going to say 9.5. Not quite perfect because I did stumble over a couple of things, so it's not quite as intuitive as I'd like, but it's pretty darn close. So yeah, 9.5, maybe a 10 for you. And then we get to the colors. I'm going to say for the colors, I mean, why not call it a 10? We don't really have anything to compare it to, so a 10 and a 9.5. Then we get to the articulation for the guy. We have a head that goes left and right. It looks up and down. It's horrific. It's beautifully detailed. The arms can go all the way around. Of course, he holds his swords just fine. There is a wrist rotation, so that's very nice. At least 90 degree at the elbow, if not a little bit more. These shoulder pads, you can leave them down, or if you want, I mean, you could bring the shoulder up like that, and it does kind of help your upward motion and your elbow a little bit. No bicep swivel. That's the one thing about this mold that always bummed me out. No bicep swivel. No waist either. And I had forgotten that there was no waist. So no bicep, no waist. The legs go well out to the side. The legs go all the way forward. The legs go all the way back. Thigh swivel, knee kind of ratcheted, soft ratchet to 90 degrees, ankle tilt, and forward and back at the ankle. So he has a lot. He really does, and he can score some tremendously nice articulation poses and whatnot. But you are at times going to want a bicep swivel, and it's not there. There may be times when you wish the guy had a waist and it's not there. I'm going to say this guy was getting a 9.5 and a 10. So he was getting like a 9.75. But I'm going to say the articulation is about an 8.5. I mean, what's there is done tremendously well. But I would say two cardinal things that he's missing is a waist. I could almost even look past that. But a bicep swivel, man, that really does it for me. So we're going to say 8.5. And with the 9.75, I don't know, the guy's a 9.25, we'll say. He's still really, really excellent, really tremendously well done. He's not a necessity because he wasn't in the show and stuff, so not everybody is going to be drawn to it. But if you like this mold, if you're cool with the wacky, wild colors, this is a fun use of it with a really kind of sinister head that really shows the effects of prolonged exposure to dark energon, which was a key point during Transformers Prime. Yeah, 9.25. I think he's an absolute win, even with a couple of little imperfections. And here we are once again. Here he is. Man, what a great time this was to be a Transformers fan. These were very reasonably priced and even kind of went on clearance here for like $5 at the time. The engineering is great. So let's talk about the colors first. I got to give it a 10 because, you know, it's Transformers Prime. I can't really measure it by traditional metrics for dead end because this is admittedly a different dead end and one that has been corrupted, as previously stated, with Dark Energon. I love the monstrous face that he has. Somewhat horrific, but also somewhat glorious. I really feel like with the coloration here, I can, you know, kind of taste the rainbow, so to speak, because there's so many bold, bright colors playing against the backdrop of a darker color that I think it works really well, and it lent itself to a significant amount of paint. Then we get to the transformation. I mean, so many moving parts, the legs, everything that goes on with the legs that I forgot about, with the pieces that flip around and slide up and over to the side and whatnot. I mean, the legs are elegant, but involved. The body, the main part of the body is the part that used to always eat me up, just for getting the head through and collapsing the kind of windshield piece and the tummy piece. Faux windshield is okay because it gets covered by the real windshield that's in on his doors, even though the real windshield is made of translucent plastic. When it comes to the articulation, I mean, does he have a waist? No waist. So no waist and no bicep. Those two things are the real bummer with this guy. I feel like they could have worked in a bicep swivel, but it is what it is at this point. Nevertheless, everything else is there, and the guy is really solid, right down to like even ankle tilt, right? While a bicep would be nice and while a waist would be nice, considering that these went for, I think it was like $10 at the time, regular price, and then they were like $5 when they were on sale. This was a great wheeljack, and there are some people who still choose to have this mold as their wheeljack. Probably some people who still choose to have this mold as their dead end. I think it's great. Perfect? No. But certainly for the investment of time and the investment of money, this was engineered and executed fantastic. Let me know what you think about Dead End, or the Transformers Prime Wheeljack for that matter. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, you can always hit the join button and become a channel member right here on YouTube at any given time, man. Hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel, and especially don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you do make a difference in the world, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.